Hello, hello, hello. Good morning, beautiful empaths. As always, my name is Denzo Mose, and I can be found on YouTube as Denzo Mose Official. I can also be found on Facebook as Denzo Mose Unscripted. Now, first of all, I would like to take this opportunity to thank all of you who follow me on Facebook. You're really doing a great job, and I want to thank the few of you who have been able to follow me on YouTube. You've done a great job, and I encourage you to keep on sharing those posts and uh, sharing them with friends. Like and subscribe if you haven't done. If you're new to the channel, I encourage you to like and subscribe to my channel, and stay blessed as we come in. We talk about today's topic. Now, I've just been like lately. Thinking about a subject that I've been thinking about it for some time, and I thought I would shed a little bit of light in this kind of topic. The topics today is going to be like, let the kids know their fathers. Let thy kid know thy dad. This subject is specially going to touch and is going to be specifically directed to most of there are some women out there, there are some women out there, and they have one way or the other been in some kind of relationships, really serious relationships, loving relationships, and at some point in time, they have diverted from these relationships and had another relationship within their relationships. And by some accident or by some chance or by some coincidence, I don't know what I can call it, the best word to use, they have gotten pregnant from those relationships. Now, come to think of it, you're in a relationship with a guy or a man or whatever, and he's a very loving guy. He's giving you love. He's offering you everything. He's taking care of you. He's loving you. He's unconditionally, you know what I mean? And then at a point in time, for whatever reason, because all women have their own reasons of falling in love, and they have their own reasons of being in relationships. So one way or the other, they end up having what we may call, like in the modern days, what we may call a side dish or a side guy or a side man or whatever we can call it. So they have gone out and they have dated another guy. So within those relationships, they are having their current relationship. So they have, by some chance or some coincidence, they have gotten pregnant. So now it gets tricky because you get out of your relationship. You're with the guy. You get out there. You go meet another guy. You sleep with the guy. The guy makes you pregnant. So you're pregnant with another guy, and then you're in a certain relationship. So you come back to this relationship, and you're telling your boyfriend, they're supposed to be like main boyfriend, if I can use the right words, the main boyfriend. You're telling him that, oh, you know what, I'm pregnant with you. But deep inside your heart, you know that that pregnancy doesn't belong to him in any way. It doesn't belong to him. I mean, you've gotten pregnant with somebody else. But because it was for some reason or the other, or maybe you might have gone there for some kind of benefits or money or whatever, or for whichever reason it be. There are so many hundreds of reasons I could give about that. But women, you know yourself, so you know how this thing works. And you've gotten pregnant with the guy. Come back to your relationship, told the guy you're pregnant with him. So, but deep inside, you know that that's not his responsibility. The responsibility. He did not make you pregnant in any way. Yes, he might have had sex with you. He might have had some kind of, but he did not make you pregnant in any way. But deep inside you and your heart, you know that you have got this baby you're carrying is belonging to somebody else. So you try to keep it a secret. So you try to keep some kind of a secret. You continue dating that current guy, and the guy making him believing that whatever pregnant you're carrying is his. Whatever child you're carrying is his. He's the one who made you pregnant. So you've shadowed off the other side relationship you've been having with somebody else, and you've come into this relationship, and you're telling the guy that this is his kid. Now, to understand the whole dynamics of this whole thing, you have got to understand something what they call karma. Because you're raising a kid, somebody else's kid, you're raising somebody else's child, or you give birth to a child who belongs to somebody else, and you declaring this child as being of somebody else. So I mean, it doesn't work out very well. You know what I mean? So karma somewhere, one way or the other, you guys need to understand that karma doesn't lose an address. Karma always comes back to the right address, to the right owners. Karma always finds its owners, and it doesn't lose an address. So there is no way you're going to think that you are going to carry on, your daily lives and your daily routines, and everything will be okay. Your husband or your boyfriend will never know about that. He believes it's his child, or he believes it's his kid. So everything is okay. So you're just going to be there sitting down and comforting yourself in your heart that everything is okay. There's nothing to worry about. Your life can go on as normal. But I can guarantee you that it can never happen like that. The law of attraction, if you're hoping to have a good life, and if you're hoping to have a successful life, there are some things you're supposed to get rid of. There are some sort of things on emotional level that you're supposed to get rid of. You know what I mean? You cannot have a kid with somebody else and claim that kid to be somebody else. You know what I mean? So those kids, one way or the other, they are going to grow up. They're going to become adults. They're going to start asking questions. So they are going to one way or the other, they are going to notice that something is not right. Something is not adding up. They may not be that, because they may find that kind of connection that they're having with their father, that you've claimed to them that is their father. They are going to find that kind of connection with them questionable. So they are going to start questioning. They are going to start having second thoughts, and they are going to start having doubts. And the moment they start to have doubts, that's when the whole thing is going to come back to you. So sometimes you may find yourself at some point in time. These things can take time. Karma doesn't it may not happen suddenly. It may not happen in days or weeks. It may not happen in months. It can take even years, you know what I mean? But at one or the other, you're going to find yourself like getting entangled in some situations that you actually cannot explain even to yourself. And you're going to find yourself having questions that you really can't answer by yourself. The kid is going to be asking you things, and there are things that you're never going to be able to answer. So the kid is going to be angry with you. The kid is going to be pissed with you. You're going to have all those kind of problems. The kid is going to resent. The kid is going to be... So the child will always be will be knowing that its mother has always had, its mother is like hiding something that they really need to know. Some of these kids, they are very clever. So one way or the other, they're going to find out. They're going to dig in, and they're going to find out that there's a secret somewhere that I really need to know. I need to find out who is my biological father, who is my real father, who is the guy that really can love me like on emotional, can love me. Who is my real blood? Who am I? Where do I belong? And where do I go? If I have a real issue, where can I go? Because you've had all those kind of situations whereby people grow up in relationships, and they start questioning their kids. So the father will decide to tell her, I'm going to take this kid to have a DNA. At the end of the DNA is going to come out, and they're going to tell him that, you know what, this is not your kid. There's no way, your DNAs don't match in any way. So this is not your kid anyway. You know what I mean? So these kind of things women do. There are some kind of things women do without thinking. There are some kinds of things women do without giving them proper thought. And at the end of the day, these things are coming back to you as karma. So this karma always will find you. It may find you. Karma doesn't always have to be equal. It's not always that whatever you send out is supposed to come back to you in the same thing. It's not the thing that you send out that you will get back in the same way. So karma may have to change a little bit. So things may have to be different. You may get different kind of karma. You may get you could get an abusive guy. You could get you could experience some kind of tragedies in your family. You could even your own health can come back. You can experience health, all sort of health issues, but then not knowing that all this thing had started from the very thing and the very previous mistake you've done in the first place. You know what I mean? So in my opinion, I believe that if you have a kid with someone, it doesn't matter whether it is an accident or you've done it, I mean, that's if you have decided to have the kid, like to continue with the pregnancy. If you have not decided to abort it or something like that, if you have decided to have the kid, when that kid gets born, you should be open with your boyfriend or your man. You should tell them the truth. This is not your kid. A mistake was done. I did a mistake some time ago. Sorry about it. If that man is for you, he's going to stay with you. If he's not for you, still, of course, you're going to have these problems and, you're going to separate. But I think it's for the better, because at the end of the day, you're trying to open up and to be clean with yourself and to be true to yourself and to your heart, because you cannot hide some secrets forever. Now, let me give you a worst case scenario. You have a kid with somebody. You have a kid with a guy somewhere. It was a one-off thing. It was a one-night stand or whatever. This the way we call it these days, the way we call it normal days. So it was a one-night stand, for example. So you have a kid. You continue with your life. Everything goes on as you want it to be. The life goes on. The kid is born. Another man raises this child. The child grows up, and now the guy you left somewhere, the real owner of this kid, he becomes a millionaire, for example. I'm just giving the worst case scenario. Something that, I've seen these things happen, because there are some of those guys, at the end of the day, they become millionaires. They are so wealthy to the maximum. And you, because you've been running around with lies, you've been lying to yourself all this time. You've been lying to yourself, and you've been lying to the child, and you've been lying to that so-called father of the kid. And then you just don't know what to do with yourself. So you've been lying. Now that kid, his original father is a millionaire, and you have not been able to succeed in your life. Whatever you've been wanting for, because I told you, karma always comes back to the right address. So karma has always hit you on the right on your worst side. So your life is not going well. You're not achieving the things you need to achieve. Your jobs are not going well. Sometimes you're moving from house to house. You're moving from job to job. But the original father of that kid is a millionaire. He's a millionaire. He's very wealthy. He has got everything he desires in the world. And you're there struggling with this child, and somebody who you're claiming to be the father of that child, and inside your heart you know that this is not his father. But then the child's father is a millionaire. Why don't you give the child access to his father? Why don't you open up to the child? Open up to the child. You know what I mean? Women, be fair to yourselves. Open up to this kid at some point in time, even if you were not able to do it in the earlier stages of her life, for whatever reasons you might have had. So you were not able to do that and to tell her the truth. When you grow up, the kid grows up. She's an adult. She's after 18. She's after 16. So she can relate. She can understand, and she can. You can easily talk to her, and there are things that she will understand. Why don't you just sit down with the kid and tell her the truth? You know what? At such and such a time in life, this and this happened, and I was not able to tell you the truth in that time. I had to conceal it for. So be open with your child. Tell them the truth. Let those kids know their fathers. It is as simple as that. You cannot hide the secret to your deathbed. You cannot hide the secret that is going to send you to your deathbed. Because you're not expecting a moment whereby you are going to reach the end of your life. You are somewhere old in a care home, or you're somewhere old, you're about to die. Then you're thinking that, okay, now I need to reveal this secret. And then you're calling your child. She has married and she has moved on with her life. She's at an older stage, so she's able to take care of herself. And you're just calling her there on your deathbed, and you're trying to reveal those secrets to her. Those kind of what they call you're trying to reveal those secrets at the end of your life. There are some things we have to be grateful for. We're supposed to be grateful for life in the first place. So if you're able to give life to somebody, that child, they always, in whichever way you look at it, they always have to know their fathers. They always have to know their biological fathers. If that father, for example, God has blessed him, because always when you take away something from somebody, there is a way God blesses that person tenfold. So you took away his own blood, or his own flesh and blood, and you gave it to somebody else. So there is a way always God blesses those people, and there's a way those people keep on and continue to prosper in their lives and get whatever they want. Some of them you can even become millionaires. But I think the best thing you can do for a child is to sit down with the child, be open with the child, let the child know her father or his father. Let him know where he comes from. Let him know his biological parents, original biological parents, not the fake ones that you've placed in that kind of situation. Let them know their biological parents, so that in the future, when their fathers, because sometimes some of them they are blessed, they have become so abundant, they are wealthy, they have got everything they need in the world, and sometimes all they need to do is to extend a hand to those kids. So when you show them their fathers, identify them with their original fathers, with their biological fathers. Let them know their parents. Let them know their fathers that they have never even known for some time. And let them be part of their lives. Because whenever you keep a secret, that secret will haunt you for the rest of their life. It is going to haunt you because, first of all, that child will always have those gut feelings and those second thoughts, and that child will start to resent with you. You will just see the child. She doesn't relate with you. She doesn't want to communicate with you. Sometimes she's stopped to tell you most of the most inner secrets. Sometimes she's starting to emotionally separate from you, because sometimes of those children, they are starting to believe that there's a secret you're hiding from them, which is actually very important for them. So you cannot hide a secret like that. It is a very big secret. You cannot hide a secret from a child, and you just like thinking, I will never tell this child what exactly happened, because maybe you're afraid of what the child is going to think about you. You just have to be honest with yourself. Sit down with the child, be honest with the child, tell the child the whole story. When the child, they have grown up and there's always something you've kept in your heart that needs to be talked about, sit down with those kids, tell them the truth, what happened between you and their actual parents. Tell them that the place where they are is not their actual fathers. Let those kids know their fathers. I'm just sending out these messages to those women who kind of have those triangulation situations whereby you're sleeping with this one, then you sleep with that one, you sleep with that one, then you sleep with this one. Then after the end of the day, you don't know. And even if you know, you cannot reveal those kind of things to your husbands or to your boyfriends that you're staying with at the moment. So maybe you cannot do that at that time. You cannot do it at that time. But at a later point, a later stage in life, you should be able to be transparent with yourself and to be honest with yourself and to be honest with God. Because there's no way God is going to bless you. You're not going to wake up every morning asking God to bless you, when inside you, you know that you have got a secret, a very deep secret that needs to be talked about and needs to be cleared. The air needs to be cleared. So there's no way God is going to keep on blessing you when you have got things that you need to clean. So that's your own mess. You know what I mean? It's your own mess. So you have got to face it. You have got to face it. As simple as that. Yes, it may be hard and difficult, but as difficult as it is, you have got to face the truth and sit down in front of your kids. They have grown, they are mature. Tell them the truth. Let them reconnect with their parents. Let them know where they are coming from. Let them know their biological parents, so that they don't just go on in the world and just feeling lost, and they don't know what to do with themselves because they have never met their fathers. Their fathers are living somewhere. Some of them even they're billionaires. Some of them they're millionaires. God has blessed them abundantly, those guys. And the only thing you need is just to talk to the kid, to identify with them, so that they can be part and parcel of their lives. There's so many things they can do for them, because it's their blood. Blood will always find its line. It will always find it will always locate, no matter how hard you will hide it. Blood will always locate their lines. The blood will always find their lines. It may take years or what, but you must be very sure about that always those kids, they will find their parents. They will find their biological parents. And I think you don't want to wait for that moment when that kid will discover that you've been hiding a secret for all your life. You've been hiding a secret from them, and you're not telling them where they are coming from, who their fathers are, or who their mothers are. Sometimes even their men in this situation, who their mothers are. So you are not telling these kids and identifying them with their original fathers and their biological fathers. It's a blessing from the universe. It's a blessing from God. So these are things you cannot hide forever. You cannot keep a child from knowing and identifying with their fathers. The child has got to know where they are coming from, who are their biological fathers. Sometimes it doesn't have, it has not got to do everything with wealth. They can be millionaires, yes, they can be having mansions and what, and everything, a lot of money in the banks. But there's that comfort in knowing that you have got a child somewhere that you never knew. It is as simple as that. You can get comfortable with that as long as at some point in time you are able to reconnect with your real blood. You are able to connect with them emotionally, physically, financially, in each and every way. You can connect with those kids and you can always love them because they are still your kids, it's your blood. So you can blood always finds its own blood. It's always its own line. So women, this is a message to you. It is a message to women because I think this kind of situation, it has been very, very common with the women. With the men, I think there are some situations whereby men have those kind of kids outside somewhere there, and so it is a thing which is with the women because it's the women sometimes who have this kind of triangles whereby they sleep with this guy, then they sleep with that guy, they sleep with that guy, then they sleep with the guy. So end of the day, they are getting pregnant with guys who are not their original boyfriends. So because of some reason, the guy might have been giving her some money, or he might have been giving her, bought her a new car or something, or offered a job opportunity. So they might have had those kids outside of their relationships, and there's no way they could confront it because they're not ready to leave their original boyfriends. Because maybe they're thinking when they tell the original boyfriends about this, it's going to bring a lot of friction. So it's going to bring chaos in the relationship. So they try to keep it a secret. They try to conceal the truth. So they decide to live with that lie year after year, year after year, year after year, until the kid is grown, until the kid starts finally to dig for the truth, find their own truth, and start to resent with you. Because karma, I've already told you guys from the beginning that karma doesn't lose an address. Karma always comes back to its original owners. Karma always comes back to you. You cannot keep on running with a secret forever. You cannot have a secret forever. Those kind of secrets involving blood, they are very deep. So you cannot have that kind of secret in your heart for the rest of your life until your deathbed. You are supposed to release that energy from you because that is energy. It is a very, very deep energy you cannot even imagine. You are supposed to release that energy from your heart. Sit down with the kid. Be patient with the kid. Let the kid be patient with you. Harmonize yourself together. Talk with the kid. Tell them the truth. And if their fathers are still alive, give them a call and let those kids know their biological fathers. Let them know where they belong. So that in case anything happens, you never know. You can have a boyfriend who you have told that you have a kid with him, but that kid is not his. So at a certain point in time, the boyfriend may pass. He may die or something. Anything can happen. The guy may pass away. So that guy passes away. Now you are running around a single mother with a kid. Which kid has got an original biological father somewhere who happens to be a millionaire? And then you're living from hand to mouth. You're fighting with bills. You're moving from home to home. Sometimes even homeless. And you're having a kid with its own dad, which dad happens to be a millionaire, or even sometimes they don't have to be millionaires, but sometimes they know that when they step in, the situation is hard. Maybe you've lost your husband or you've lost your boyfriend or whatever. So they may be able to carry on with that responsibility and take care of their kids the way it should be. So women, try to reconsider this whole the situation. It's very deep. It's something I just abruptly thought I could talk about because I mean it's out there, My channel is about bringing out the truth. My channel is about truth and setting people free and setting empaths free. So whichever person is vulnerable, whether it's a kid, whether it's a woman, whether it's a man, anybody in the vulnerability situation on my channel, they are going to be set free, and that is my motive. So in this situation, I've been very specific about children growing up in different families and not identifying with their fathers. Those little girls or those little boys, you're growing up with them and you're growing and you're living with a lie. And that lie will follow you. You will see things turning upside down. You will start to see all those kind of sicknesses coming to you. You will start to see deaths even in the family. Sometimes even those you call your so-called boyfriends. or whatever, they may pass. God may take them away from you. And there you are just sitting with a kid. That kid doesn't know its dad. And sometimes you know deep in your heart, in your heart of hearts, you know very well that that kid has got a father somewhere. And it is as simple as getting that kid and identifying that kid with his dad. And just let the kid know the dad. Let them identify with their father. There is so much we can do. Because if it's our kids, we are men, I'm a man as well. So if you know there's a kid somewhere, you might know or you may not know. Because it doesn't mean when you sleep with a woman, definitely you know that she's pregnant. So she may get pregnant and then she may hide it. And she may never return to you. She may never see you again. You may never see her again. But when a man knows that there is a kid somewhere that belongs to them, we always take that responsibility. We always step in. We identify with those kids and we let them be part of our lives. So I'm speaking on behalf of the men. There are so many men out there. I even have some friends that I know that they have got this kind of situation happen to them, whereby women have gotten pregnant with them and run off with their children, and had those children and reclaimed those children to somebody else. Honestly, that is a lie, and I don't know how God can forgive you with that kind of sin. That is a sin in the first place. It is a sin and it is evil because you're living a lie. You're not honest with yourself and you're not honest with God. And then you'll just be waking up every morning and you're asking God to bless you. Now, how is God going to bless you? How is God going to give you the life that you need? And all the things that you need in the world when you're hiding some kind of things like that on deep level. So, women, well, that's all I want to talk about today. Women, think about it. If I've been talking to you or if I'm talking to you and you're in that kind of situation, it's as simple as that. Sit down with yourself, be in tune with yourself, and reconsider doing the right thing. And reconsider doing the right thing, not for the kid, not for whatever, but even just for God. And then I think that's when the whole thing, the whole blessing is going to come back to you, because you cannot hide a secret forever. So guys, it's been a short video. Stay blessed, each and everyone following me on YouTube. And I thank all my Facebook followers. You've really been very patient with me. I've not been uploading videos for a while. I've been having one or two things I'm doing with my own self. But well, I'm going to be posting video by video. When I come up with a topic or a subject, I'm going to be coming up here and dropping one or two videos. So stay blessed, all of you who are following me. For those of you who are new to my channel, please like the channel, subscribe, keep on supporting the channel, and help me make the channel grow. My intention is to send out the messages out there to the people who need it, and to change and touch people's lives, and that's all. So have a blessed day. I'm hoping to talk with you very soon, and I'm coming back with a new subject. Everybody stay blessed and have a really beautiful weekend. Thank you very much. Bye.